Alexandre has in Ireland. The other thing for me is that most of his races so far have been steadily run races. He hasn't always settled. Maybe a more strongly run race will help him, but I think that his jumping remains a question mark. It's not always been that slick, and also whether a more strongly run race will suit him or not, because it's been steadily run races to this point.
The on-course mover has been Rule the World 5-1 from 13-2. They're filtering out onto the track for the Neptune Investment Novices Hurdle, the smallest field ever drawn together for this one. Mark Johnson will describe the race.
So now they're about to be called in. And they're off for the 2013 running of the Neptune Investment Management Novices Hurdle over 2 miles and 5 furlongs. Ubac on the inside of Pone Alexandre as they go over the first of the 10 flights. In third position, just trailing his hind legs through that flight, was Twiston-Davis. On that one's outside races 2 Rockers alongside the new one, and out wider still is Rule the World, who's now pulled his way through to take third place on the run towards flight number 2. As they go to it, it's Pone Alexandre. It has a head in front and jumps it quick and economically. The one who lost places in the air was Rule the World. He went into that flight in third place. He emerges in 6th. He only has Chatterbox and the yellow colours of Minsk behind him as they now begin to make this long run, which will take them down the hill and into the home straight, where 2 more flights of hurdles await them. And it's Ruby Walsh and Pone Alexandre out in front by a neck, to Ubac on the inside and Jamie Moore in second. Ubac inclined to take quite a strong hold in the early stages. A length and a half away in third is the new one in the hands of Sam Twiston-Davis, and then Twiston-Davis racing in 4th position, another one who is straining the reins in the early stages. Rule the World is out deep on the track, followed by 2 Rockers. Then the dark blue with the red cap through on the inside, Chatterbox in the hands of Barry Geraghty. And at the back of the field, Minsk and Danny Mullins as they face up to flight number 3 in the home straight, but still on the shoot as they now race on towards the racecourse proper. And it is Pone Alexandre defending this perfect 3 out of 3 record as he makes his first start in England. He's out in front now by 3 parts of a length to Ubac racing in second. Now there's nearly 2 lengths back to the third horse, who is the new one. Further length and a half then towards the inside in 4th position, Twiston-Davis, and that one's outside is 2 Rockers, and then Rule the World. Chatterbox covered up towards the inside, and Minsk seeing plenty of daylight out wide as they now race on towards flight number 4. It will be the last in a circuit's time in the Neptune Investment Management Novices Hurdle Grade 1. So they come towards the 4th, Pone Alexandre on the outside of Ubac as they rise over this flight, and Pone Alexandre stood a long way off that, put in an extravagant leap, and it lost in the lead because Ubac has moved through now on the inside, and with the help of the inside rail around the turn takes a fractional advantage to Pone Alexandre racing in second, and then in third Twiston-Davis. On that one's outside in 4th position is the new one, followed then by Rule the World, the maroon and the white star. Then Chatterbox still covered up towards the inside of 2 Rockers, and still just last is Minsk as the tightly packed field of 8 head towards halfway now in the Neptune Investment Management Novices Hurdle. And it's still Ruby Walsh and Pone Alexandre out in front. Ruby just steals a peek as he goes down this hill slightly as they go on towards flight number 5 to see where his main rivals are. He still has Ubac, the outsider, right on his flank on the inside. And there was a mistake there over that flight of hurdles at the back of the field by 2 Rockers who just got a little low over that flight. Going now on towards the next, which is flight number 6, Pone Alexandre. And once again, Ruby just steals a peek to see where the big battalions are behind him. Ubac staying with him on the inside, followed 2 lengths away by the new one. And then towards the inside is Twiston-Davis as they go over flight number 6, and Ubac emerges with the lead. Twiston-Davis wasn't that quick in the air, and neither too was Chatterbox. Might have just been put off there by Twiston-Davis, who was slow over that flight of hurdles. They go towards the dogleg turn, taken now before the next flight, which will be flight number 7 of the 10. Pone Alexandre towards the outside of Ubac. These are still the first 2, but all the others in behind are going well enough as they cross over that flight. At the back of the field, Chatterbox landed a little flat-footed and now being ridden along on his outside is 2 Rockers, but still a horse blanket would cover the field as Ubac and Pone Alexandre are mixing it up for the leaders. Now they begin to make the descent with 3 more flights of hurdles to take in the Neptune, and it is Ubac on the outside of Pone Alexandre, bidding to give Willie Mullins his 5th winner already of the week. Then towards the outside is Rule the World, who's travelled well into the race, niggled along Twiston-Davis, and then between horses is the new one, followed by Chatterbox, who's still cutting every corner through on the inside. Mince now emerges on the wide outside. Pone Alexandre just had the lead, but Ruby now begins to niggle away with towards the outside. Now making a challenge is Rule the World and Davy Russell. whistle as now they begin to sprint down the hill. 3 furlongs to go, and Chatterbox has got a seam through on the inside of Taquin de Searle. Here's the second from home. Pone Alexandre, a slender lead. Chatterbox was not fluent as they now begin to make the turn. They've got a quarter of a mile to go and one more flight to take. Pone Alexandre is out in front. Rule the World around the outside, his nearest pursuer, and now ranges up towards the outside of Pone Alexandre. Also staying on now is the new one in the hands of Sam Twiston-Davis, and it's the new one now who claims the Irish Raiders up towards the final flight. It is the new one who took it with a lead of a widening 3 lengths. In second is Rule the World. Pone Alexandre is beaten in third, and with half a furlong to go, it is the new one and Sam Twiston-Davis who take the Neptune Investment Management Novices Hurdle. The new one wins for the 3rd time at Cheltenham. In second was Rule the World. Pone Alexandre was back in third, and Chatterbox finished 4th.
What a moment for Sam and Nigel Twiston-Davis. The new one justifies all their faith in him. Nigel saying he's just about the best he's trained. Well, he's confirmed that here. And tactically, Chris, a terrific ride from Sam Twiston-Davis.
It was an excellent ride. They haven't gone that quick, and he delayed his challenges as long as he could, and he was always sat in a prominent position. He was about 3rd place in the early part of the race. I thought that he jumped a little bit slowly at 4 out, and that just took him from probably about 3rd to 5th, and he still managed to get back into it quite comfortably, because at that point they still hadn't begun to sprint for home really. It wasn't until they were coming down the hill that they really started to turn up the tempo, and the race was run to suit him really, because he is a horse who he sees out his trip, this kind of trip fine, but he's got a turn of foot, and he's made a similar kind of move to what he made last time out, Steve, but on the less stiff track and on less testing ground. That move has carried him clear of horses who probably aren't as quick as him, but have got maybe a little bit more stamina perhaps, but he's got class and speed.
I think this is, we've seen it with the horse before. Hardy used his history back with it. I'm not saying he's that class, but I won't think you can dismiss the idea that this could drop back in trip and still be every bit as effective. He was keen to hold the horse. He was keen to hold the horse up. Remember, he criticised himself last time for coming too early.